In this video, we're covering all things on the basics of error coins, so stay tuned. Let's learn about the coins that you can look for in your pocket change, some more rare than others, but all of them will be worth tons of money if you come across them, so let's check it out. Let's get to it, talking about the first one on the list, which is a really popular one, being die errors. First off, we have double die errors. A double die occurs when a misaligned striking impression from the hub strikes the planchet. So basically, things are off center, causing it to be struck more than once, and the double die error occurs. This is not a repunch die, but is in fact a doubling of the impression on the coin. Depending on how dramatic this is, it can be worth tons of money, as you can see with some really famous ones like the 1955s, few coins in the 70s, and then many other coins in the Lincoln Cent series. These can be worth a ton of money with heavy doubling on the coin. Another error to look for would be die clashes. A die clash happens when the obverse and the reverse, or the front and back dies, strike one another without a coin between them. This may cause damage to each one of the dies, and parts of the dies may be impressed into one another, and those die elements are now going to be impressed in any new coins that are struck afterward. This generally looks like portions of the coins are indented and have what is, quote, a clash mark. These can be seen on a lot of older coins, but the process is still seen in modern coins sometimes as well. Another die error to look for would be overdates. Now, because of the difficulty and just the sheer economics to making new dies, the mint often uses dies until they pretty much wear out and fall apart. They would basically take the previous year's dies and replace the last digit in the date with a new digit. They generally punch this over the top of the previous year's final digit. It is similar to what happens with mint marks, as the Philadelphia Mint would often share dies with the branch mints and the mints with each other. These errors can be seen in the date, of course, where generally the previous year's last digit of the date can still be read beneath the last digit of the New Year's date. Let's talk about the next type of error, which is Planchet Errors, starting with a really rare one being a blank Planchet Error. A blank Planchet error is essentially where an impression doesn't get hit onto the coin. Now, there's two different types of blank Planchet errors, type 1 and type 2. If the coin still has its uniformly rounded rim, then it is a type 2 blank Planchet. If it was not struck at all, then it is a type 1 error. These can be extremely rare. They're seen more prevalently on older coins. The next one is a clip planchet. A clip planchet usually occurs when the metal strip that's used for these coins to be punched out of gets misaligned in the machine. So it's basically a really long ribbon-like piece of metal with a composition of whatever coin it's meant to be producing, and this gets off-center when being fed through the machine and comes out with coins that have this error on them. So essentially with a clip planchet, as you can see in these photos, portions of the coin looks like it basically has a bite mark taken out of it. The clip part of this coin can either be small or large and either have a straight or a curved edge. These have been known to be worth thousands of dollars. The next type of error we'll talk about is a striking error, starting with the strike-through error. A strike-through error happens when a foreign object comes between the die itself and the blank that's being struck with that coin's design. This can be a lot of different things. In some cases, it's shavings of metal from when the coins are punched out, and it makes its way into the machine. This looks like indentions that are made into the coins. The more dramatic they are, the more valuable they can be. There's many instances of pieces of string from rags used to polish and clean the machinery, to wires from brushes, are sometimes the cause of these errors as they make their way in between the die and the coin itself. The next error is a Broadstrike Error, which occurs when the circular die allows for metal to flow outside of the dies itself. This results in the coin having a plain and not reeded edge. Usually these will appear to have a wide space around one edge of the coin as well, almost like it's shifted in place. Another error is a Brockage error. These errors happen when the mirror image of one side of the coin is struck onto the blank. If the struck coin fails to automatically eject out of that collar that holds it into place when a new blank is fed on top of it, it can cause an error where they're struck again. This creates the reverse impression onto the wrong side of the coin. When they make it out into the wild, they're worth a ton of money. The next error is a multiple strike error, which is pretty self-explanatory, I think. These occur when a coin that has been struck numerous times still makes it out into circulation, or multiple coins that are involved in a struck and stuck together form. This is a super dramatic error, and these are generally worth thousands of dollars. A version of one of these coins is used in one of our logos on my website, varietyerrors.com. Another great error is the off-center striking error, which is also pretty self-explanatory. The die that's being used at the time is off-center of the coin, so it's closer to one edge. Usually these have a small percentage of off-center, but when they're really dramatic, they become much more scarce and much more valuable. So those sought-after, really dramatic off-center striking errors are worth thousands of dollars. Another really rare error to look for that's related to striking would be the DoubleDenomination error. This is also a pretty straightforward error, as it's super dramatic and really rare, but it's when a coin is struck twice between two different denominations of coins. These are extremely hard to come by, but have been known to be in the tens of thousands, if not more, thousands of dollars, as they're considered one of the most valuable errors to come across. Although there's, of course, many other types of errors out there, I thought this is a good beginner's guide to error coins, and ones that you can look for. Of course, all of these can be found and have been found in circulation to some degree, some more dramatic than others. Some in these photos are going to be very dramatic examples of these errors and worth thousands and thousands of dollars, but all will give you a good example of ones to look for. Hopefully you'll come across one of those really, really high percentage off-center errors, or a wrong metal or double denomination error, and you can become rich off of one of the greatest hobbies in the world. Worst case scenario, when going through your change, you end up with the same amount of money you started with. Hopefully you learned something in this video, even if you're an avid collector. If you're a new collector, hit subscribe. If you would like to join my channel full of really awesome people that like to help one another learn about coins and currency. Otherwise, let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. I'll see you there, and I will see you all in the next video.